Up. Here's another episode of the Meta Report. Hope you enjoy it. In previous weeks, we have talked a lot about the currently successful hero and playstyle metas that many top teams and players are employing with great success. In this episode of the Meta Report, we are going to talk all about items, however. To me, items are the unsung heroes of the Dota universe because they allow any hero to do any job in the game, regardless of their widely accepted usual purpose. Need to push waves? There's a tool for that. Need to sustain your team? There is a tool for that. Need to take Roche or be able to demolish buildings? There are tools to fill every hole in every draft, and this is what allows for nearly unending creativity in terms of hero picks and lineup compositions. As the game stands now, however, there are a few specific items that I want to highlight because they are incredibly game-winning and criminally underutilized in pub matches. I would go as far as to say that regardless of your hero, if you can ensure that your team buys the following 6 items, every single game, your Dota win rate will skyrocket. Number 1. Crimson or Pipe. And yes, I'm actually highlighting 2 items here and counting them as one because they basically fill the same role. And while you'll sometimes need both, regularly you will only need one of these items depending on the opponent's composition. They also each provide a unique but incredibly important niche mechanic that I'm going to highlight at the end. So why are they so good? Both items provide generally good stats to the carrier, but their true power lies in what they provide to the team. In raw numbers, Pipe gives every single affected unit an additional 400 temporary HP. That is the equivalent of slightly less than 2 vitality boosters, and if you were to actually do some calculations, you'd figure out that it's basically 4.4 gold per HP for a vitality booster, which translates to approximately 1,760 gold per person affected by the Pipe shield. So if you were to hit all 5 members of your team with a Pipe versus a strong magic damage lineup, you have essentially increased your entire team's net worth by 8,800 gold temporarily for only 3,075 gold worth of item. The same principle also holds true for Crimson Guard, but is a little bit harder to calculate because it varies wildly depending on how many times shielded units are attacked. Finally, Pipe allows you to keep creep waves alive versus D-push, which is vital for a successful high ground attempt, and Crimson can drastically increase the difficulty of your opponents pushing your buildings. Number 2, Vladimir's Offering. Vlad's used to give the most complete teamfight aura you could wish for until they removed Hedris as a component, and thus the HP regen was also removed. This is still an item, however, that solves many early game issues for basically every single lineup you could draft. Most heroes desperately need mana, and most players are terrible at managing their mana throughout a game. Vlad's gives you essentially a level 5 Crystal Maiden on your team with 3 points in her aura, and it also gives everyone around you a 900 net worth boost in terms of lifesteal, slightly less for ranged heroes, and a 350 net worth boost in equivalent armor, which is basically 2 rings of protection. The auras also, of course, apply to your creeps, which can additionally aid in pushing towers and sustaining in both fights, Roshan, and tower pushes. 5 heroes affected by Vlad's means an approximate 6,250 gold net worth value for a 1,925 gold item. Number 3, Medallion. Medallion is another very affordable early game item that provides an absurd value. Like Vlad's, Medallion often partially solves a hero's mana issues while also providing the incredible ability to transfer armor to any teammate. Not only does Medallion give the carrier a huge defensive boost and damage reduction depending on your armor, but you can apply this to anyone being focused by your opponents to basically transfer part of your net worth to them. Let's take a quick look at armor values and just how incredible the effect of a Medallion can be. A 0 armor Doom, for example, goes from 4% damage reduction to 31% damage reduction with the 7 armor. A 2 armor Anti-Mage goes from 14% damage reduction to 37%. And an 11 armor Terrorblade goes from 40% damage reduction to 53%. If you are a 1000 HP squishy support now, and you suddenly increase your HP pool by 31%, you are going to stand a much better chance surviving in fights when the enemy carry goes on you. And this means that you can utilize your powerful spells for much longer. Finally, Medallion is an essential tool for every lineup to take Roshan effectively, and considering that one of the biggest reasons we believe that the Radiant side has such a high win rate advantage over Dire is because of its ease of controlling the Roshan pit, it is pretty clear just how important the Aegis is as an objective. Number 4, Guardian Greaves. I think a lot of players look at Guardian Greaves and just see Arcane Boots plus Mechanism, but only requiring one slot. I know I did, but the truth is actually pretty staggering. Guardian Greaves are one of the most powerful teamfight items in the game. Not only do they restore an upgraded amount of mana and HP to the affected heroes, but they also provide a basic dispel to the caster, a mechanic that is quite rare in Dota 2. The truly insane thing about Guardian Greaves, though, is the reactive aura that they provide to heroes on the brink of death. An ally in a 1200 radius below 20% HP instantly gains 15 armor and 16 HP regen. We've already discussed the importance of armor and how powerful it can be in previous items, but if we look at the 15 in raw net worth terms, that's 1950 gold in terms of items. The 16 HP regen is just under 3 full rings of health in terms of value as well. This item can single-handedly turn fights around and will allow teams to immediately transition from fighting into an objective-taking push without having to stop to heal, which is a lot of times where pubs will kind of break down. You'll win a fight, everybody will be low, and they'll all go to farm or go back to the fountain to heal when you need to be taking towers. So Guardian Greaves is one of the best items to push your team into pushing. Number 5. Rod of Atos. Atos has been hyped up a lot due to its use by heroes like Viper, Leshrac, Razor, Pudge, and many others lately. And you know what? The hype is fully justified considering the incredible value from this item. Not only does it provide an excellent boost in both HP and mana pools for the carrier, it also allows the user to do 3 incredibly important things. Number 1, you can catch people out of position and initiate on them without compromising your own positioning. Number 2, Atos allows you to provide a target for your team to go on. You say, point at somebody, you say, go kill this person, which is really useful in terms of communication in pubs where coordination is often pretty lacking. Number 3, canceling TP scrolls from an absurd range is just a generally broken mechanic. Number 6, Force Staff. Force has been in the game forever, and it's still probably underrated. While the stats have been nerfed to be more of an afterthought on this item than anything else, they're still decent enough. The utility of the Force movement is the truly amazing part of this item. The amount of times you can save yourself or an ally in a single game with Force Staff is just something that we can't really put a numerical value on, but it's something that you will certainly feel if somebody forces you out of a combo or you're able to save a super important hero at a very important time in the game and thus win as a result. Repositioning even after taking damage is something that Blink Dagger cannot do, and in some senses makes Force Staff just an inherently better item in a lot of cases. It also allows you to cross normally impassable terrain, which is another mechanic that very few heroes have, and considered extremely powerful for that reason. Force Staff is really the ultimate utility item, allowing you to offensively punish your opponent's positional mistakes, make up for your allies' awful map awareness or positioning, and even do things like break Lincoln Spheres to provide a target for more important abilities. So that's about it. These are the most important items, in my opinion, to buy in Dota at the moment, and you may notice a couple of interesting things. There's very little damage involved, and there's very little farming acceleration or ability either. In fact, basically all of these items are incredibly defensive in nature, and therein lies the true power of these 6 items. The vast majority of all Dota players will make large and numerous mistakes in a game of Dota. Most of them will neglect defense in favor of damage. Many will be oblivious to good positioning or how to approach fights or catch out of positioned opponents. These items will make up for most of these issues. Not only will they objectively increase the net worth of your team and aura values, they will literally allow you to increase the Dota IQ of your team by solving most of the common issues that pub players face for them. Seriously, go try it out. Buy these items. I promise you your win rate will go up. Good luck in your games. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section below, and we will see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the video. We genuinely appreciate your time and attention spent with us here on the YouTube channel.